Wiso Hang looked around with a slightly puzzled face. These are the people of manhwa. Subsidiary sects were born from a disciple that left the main sect, and it is common to match the rank distribution with their main sect. In that sense, Wiso Hang is the same as the third-class disciples. Until he arrived here, he thought there would be nothing special about being an inner disciple. However, seeing the disciples gathered, he could see how wrong he was. Every single one of them is like a blade of a sword, and the essence flows. Now he can understand why his father emphasized that manhwa was so prestigious. They lived the same years, but they and Wiso Hang were clearly different. There is moderation in each movement, and the subtle trace of Tao is reflected in each gaze. Even now while eating, it is by no means easy to show modesty that others can admire while eating. He thought, this is why everyone is so famous. Wiso Hang's gaze turns to one side. While everyone was eating neatly, only one person sitting in the corner was devouring the food rather than eating it. I don't even want to know. Chicken legs disappear into the human mouths in an instant. It was hard to believe how clean the drumstick bones were and how they were eaten in an instant. Did nobody hear him? What was even stranger was that no one blamed him for eating out loud on one side of the dinner hall. Everyone was acting as if the person inhaling the food didn't exist in the first place. Is he really manhwa's divine dragon? Wiso Hang looked at Chung Myung as if he couldn't believe it at all. Of course, the appearance is fine. No, on the outside, the word manhwa's divine dragon suits him well. The problem is that the only thing that looks fine is the appearance. Chung Myung's appearance shows no dignity befitting the title of manhwa's divine dragon, called the world #1 rising star. Is the rumor really wrong? That can't be true. Rumors are always exaggerated more than they actually are, but this time that can't be the case. This is because Southern Edge sect cannot stay still even if something slightly different from the truth spreads. Southern Edge sect's silence is the strongest evidence of the achievements of the manhwa divine dragon. That means he's the one who defeated Southern Edge sect's disciple. Wiso Hang scratched his head. Of course, people have their own tendencies. But isn't there a dignity that is basically required for a master? But that Chung Myung doesn't give the slightest feeling of dignity of a master. No one would find it strange to see a backstreet thug if he immediately stripped that manhwa's robes. Is it really okay to take that person with me? Then the door opened, and one person came inside. Yoon Jong. Wiso Hang unconsciously breathed a low sigh as he looked at Yoon Jong coming inside. If only that person were a manhwa divine dragon. Then he would have really shouted hooray with eyes wide open. That Yoon Jong had everything Wiso Hang expected from the manhwa divine dragon, the beauty alone master. The discipline felt from the posture, and he can feel the softness and composure from his expression. Isn't the appearance of a master like that? But why is it that he is manhwa's divine dragon and not Yoon Jong? Yoon Jong approached Chung Myung and frowned. You're going to get a stomachache. Eat slowly. Try fasting for 100 million months. Aren't you only there for 3 months? Chung Myung swallowed the food in his mouth and gulped the cold water next to him. Then, he put down the water bottle and tapped his stomach while leaning on the chair. After 3 months of eating only byeokgokten, the air now tastes like byeokgokten. If I close the building because I'm crazy. People should eat meat. I don't know how Sholin bastards only eat grass. We used to live on grass 2 years ago, dude. It was Chung Myung who changed it, though. Haha. So did you get any results? The result? Chung Myung smiled bitterly. I just needed a little time. Chung Myung's martial art is a little different from the past. Since the foundation has changed, the building built on it will inevitably take on a different shape from the past. He just needed a little time to sort things out. You've been training steadily while I'm gone, haven't you? Yoon Jong looks around slightly with a sour face. The peer's resentful eyes were on him. I thought we still had a few days left. Why did you have to bring him out? But for 3 months, it felt like peaceful life. Good times are over. ***. I should have blocked the entrance to Manhwa with something stronger. Yoon Jong let out a low sigh. Everyone trained hard. Oh, really? As Chung Myung slowly began to boil again, Yoon Jong quickly poured cold water on him. That's not the point, is it? Hua Sect's problem is urgent. Oh yes, those shaman bastards. Chung Myung's face is distorted. Break their heads. Young, when we depart. Sect leader told me to leave tomorrow morning. Tomorrow? It's earlier than you said. That means the situation in Hua Sect is that dire. If a person has already departed from Wudang, he will arrive soon. If we arrive too late, won't we come back with nothing? Right. So when you're done eating, go pack your things. We'll have to leave as soon as possible. Okay. Chun Myung jumped out of his seat and went outside, and the third-class disciples breathed a sigh of relief in unison. I thought I was going to die. Live but isn't living. Really? Then the back door of the dining hall opens. Someone with their head tilted inward looked inside and asked in a low voice, "Did he leave?" "Yes." Baek Sang opens the door and comes inside. Behind him, third-class disciples rushed in with gloomy faces. "You can have a meal the way you want. Have a meal." "No. You said there's still a few days left until it's over. Why did he come out early?" "Peace is over. I want to die." Watching all this, Wissohang couldn't understand the situation at all. He was bursting with curiosity. What the hell is going on? Apparently, Chun Myung is the youngest of them all, and it is clear that those who are called Sasuk are uncomfortable with Chun Myung because they are wary of the youngest. I heard that the hierarchy are very clear. Wissohang's dazed gaze meets Yoon Jong's gaze. This, Yoon Jong brother. Oh, Yoon Jong looks at Wissohang and scratches his head lightly. I don't know how to explain it. Yoon Jong opens his mouth looking at Wissohang with strange eyes. You don't have to try to understand. Wissohang. Yes, you'll soon understand even if you don't want to. Mysterious anxiety came into Wissohang's heart. The next morning, Wissohang waited for those who set off for Hua Sect with him in front of the sect leader's residence. Next to him, Yoon Jong and Jo Gol were already waiting for those who had not arrived yet, with their belongings in their hands. It's about time he came. Here he comes. Wissohang's gaze follows Yoon Jong. Oh! Wissohang exclaimed without realizing it. A man in white and a hero gun is walking towards them. Just imagine Baek Chun in that white uniform. That's awesome. That's all he can think of. Wissohang, who felt the presence of a master overwhelming the surroundings of Yoon Jong. But the one approaching now feels somewhat different. It's literally the face of a hero. It's a bad habit to judge people by their appearances, but anyone who sees him for the first time will feel the same way. Yoon Jong bows his head toward the approaching one. Baek Chun Sasuk. Did you sleep well last night? Baek Chun, then that person. Baek Chun, manhwa's righteous sword. If manhwa's divine dragon is the most mysterious in manhwa's righteous sword is the most famous in manhwa. It is a story that everyone knows that righteous sword led his peers to the lower world to wipe out evil bandits and save countless people. Don't those who see the righteous sword praise him for his appearance? It's the appearance of a hero. Baek Chun, who approached them with a soft smile, opened his mouth. Would you be quiet? Baek Chun's face is distorted. Darn it, it's terrible that he's come out again, and now I have to go out with him. What the hell did I do to deserve this? Still, Sasuk can express your dissatisfaction. We can't even say a thing. Right. Baek Chun scratched his head. Even sect leader is indifferent. You're right. The three sighed at the same time. Well, I'm a Wisso. Whoa, oh my gosh. Wissohang, who had been sneaking up to speak on him, found the person standing next to him, freaked out, and stepped back. Since when? He didn't even feel a sign. Since when did she been standing next to him? But it's only Wissohang who's surprised. Others did not even change their expressions as if it were natural. A girl? Wissohang, who confirmed the face of the woman standing in front of him, unknowingly opened his mouth wide. She's beautiful. Wissohang has never seen such a beautiful person. A woman standing with a cold face as if covered with ice. Originally, that cold expression would have to have the natural beauty a little, but that woman's coldness only doubles her beauty. Sama. Did you bring your luggage? Yes, Sahyam. You don't have to go too, Sama. I say I go. Baek Chun closed his mouth and nodded as he tried to say something. As Wissohang watched it, he realized one thing. I don't think there are many people here, but there's no ordinary person in every meeting. Now that he looks at it, everyone is unique. But there's a reason why he is only aware of it now. And right now, that reason was trudging from afar. You're early, aren't you? As Chum Myung approaches and waves his hand, everyone's faces are slightly distorted except you, Iseol. Go to sleep, even if it's late. You're uselessly diligent. Chum Myung looks through the gathered people and tilts his head. Are you going to go too, Sosek? Bet Chun replied with a gloomy face. That's what happened. I see, Sosek, but Chum Myung slightly frowns. Sago. Yes. Why? Yes. As soon as Chum Myung was about to say something, the door opened and Yoon Jong came out. Are you all here? Yes. Yoon Jong comes down and holds Wisso Hang's hands. Wisso Hang. Yes, sect leader. I know you're worried, but these are certainly reliable children, so they will certainly help you. Thank you, sect leader. Wisso Hang sincerely bowed his head. No matter how much Huayan sect is said to be a subsidiary sect of manhua, he didn't think they would help this wholeheartedly. He almost cried at the warmth delivered by the hand. And, Bat Chun. Yes. Lead the children well. I believe in you. Yes. Yu Iseol, Yoon Jong, and Jo Gol, please help Bat Chun. Don't worry, sect leader. I will. I understand. Lastly, Yoon Jong's eyes go to Chum Myung. Chum Milna. Yes. Please don't make any trouble. I think my treatment a little different from the others. Please. Yes. Thus, the second and third class disciples of Mount Hu began their journey to Huayan sect.